Let's be real, life is messy. We all wrestle with loneliness, guilt, and shame.
Having a supportive community and the right resources can make all the difference.
That's why we started Healing Unscripted.
We're just three friends on a mission to bring hope and healing.
Whether you're struggling yourself or walking alongside someone who is,
We're diving deep into the hard stuff.
With insightful guests, real talk,
and a whole lot of heart. Join us on Healing Unscripted.
Hey guys, welcome back to Healing Unscripted. I'm one of your hosts, Jen, and we are so honored to be your local mental health and recovery podcast.
Hi, everyone. I'm Liana. We are all recovering from something. It doesn't always have to look like addiction. So today, our guest has been on a recovery journey from breast cancer.
Hey guys, this is Laura. Molly's here to tell her story, her healing journey from DCIS, which is ductal carcinoma in situ. And I know I've looked up statistics before because I like to share one or two, and I thought it was a lot higher than this, but it says 1 in 8 women will have breast cancer. And I mean, I feel like a year or two ago, it was like 1 in 4 because I remember just being like, well, it's going to be one of us. And
I thought I remember hearing 1 in 3.
I thought I heard that too a few years ago.
Do you know
So I'm
Something
sure
we
it
just read in
depends.
statistics because we were doing CEs today, me and my coworker, is that because they changed the age to 40 instead of 50, it's decreased by 40%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Starting your screening mammogram at 40 versus 50.
Oh, okay. I hear what you're
Yeah,
saying.
April
they're
of
catching more.
2024, they changed it, the guidelines to 40. So, and then if you have family history, say your mother had breast cancer at 45, then you get mammograms, screening mammograms at 35 instead of 45. So it's 10 years from your parents being diagnosed.
Thank God
Wow.
for that.
Mhm.
Huh?
This is so-
Early
No.
detection.
Early
Yes.
detection, better technology.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
They
more
lowered the
screening
colon
tools.
cancer screening age as well
Yep.
to 45.
Yep.
It was 50.
It was 50. And there was just a recent passing away of Dawson. Remember Dawson's Creek? I don't know.
Yes,
Mhm.
today.
He passed
Yeah.
away?
He
Today.
did. 48 with 6 kids.
Colon cancer.
Colon cancer.
Makes me sad.
So, and then I had a
Oh.
best friend at 49. She passed away 3 months after her diagnosis of colon cancer.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Oh, that's too young.
Yeah.
And it's way too young.
Oh,
Molly,
I'm
when were
sorry.
you diagnosed?
October 31st, last day of breast cancer awareness of 2024.
And you were on a travel assignment, right?
I
You were
was. I was
working
in
elsewhere?
Seattle. So I came home for a week to visit my daughter and my husband. And so I decided to schedule a mammogram because for a month I had breast pain. But the biggest thing in my right breast is I had like this lump, but I had very dense breast tissue. So mammograms were very difficult to read on me. And so I came in, they did a bilateral ultrasound, and like Dr. Thompson, she found it in my left breast. So it was really deep, and ultrasound was the only thing that saw it because I had a screening in July and the mammogram didn't detect it.
Right.
So
Yeah,
breast
makes sense.
MRI detected it and also ultrasound. So
That's what I've heard for the dense breast tissue. You have to do the ultrasound
Mhm.
as
Yeah.
your best detection.
It
Shout
is-
out to ultrasound.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, let's talk about, so you actually work in the field.
I
So
do.
that's really interesting. What do you do for work?
So I work in radiology. I'm a multimodality tech. So I'll go from X-ray to CT to mammography, but I'm covering maternity leave right now. So I'm working at the breast care center till April 10th. And it's funny because the people that you see in this community, I see at the breast care center.
Mhm.
Yep.
And a lot of them know my journey and what I've been through. And I've had a couple people comment, be like, how do you do this? You know, it's very satisfying for me. And it's also, this is my journey. Like if I can get mine detected early, I want to get the same services to everyone else and make sure we're getting yours early and you can continue living because breast cancer is treatable.
Right.
Mm.
So
We've come a long way with
Yeah.
that. Thank God.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, very thankfully.
So
But we still, how many people do we lose a year? Because I know people still die from breast cancer, and that is a real thing. It's
Mhm.
not all curable.
It's not. And the staging's different, the grading's different, depending on how aggressive the cancer is in the breast. So we've seen a lot recently and I don't know. I did genetics and I have a genetic mutation and I didn't know till after I had breast cancer that 2 of my maternal cousins have the gene and they both had breast cancer.
Oh,
Wow.
hmm
So I
So-
wonder, So you had told us before you came in here a little bit about younger people
Mhm.
getting diagnosed as early in their 20s
Mhm.
of breast cancer.
Yeah.
And so they're increasing they're asking them to screen sooner. Are they asking them to do genetic testing sooner if there's a history of it?
They are, but so a couple things I've learned on my genetic testing. So I get a consult yearly. They check in with me. That for genetics, like they don't want my son to get genetically tested unless he's going to probably have kids. Just because if his wife has the same gene, it increases their chances by 50%, the
Wow.
kids. And so the other thing is for my daughter is she'll go already gets early detection because I was diagnosed at 45, so she'll get mammograms at 35.
Yep.
So with her, she needs to probably make sure she has a life insurance policy in place because
Mhm.
people don't want to insure you if they know
Mhm.
you have a gene or genetics, which should be just your medical history. It should be against you.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
In other countries,
Yep.
it's seen as your medical chart.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Mhm. Being
Yeah.
in the medical field, it's hard to hear and talk about that
Mm.
it
because
is.
it's really sad.
And that, I think from working in the medical field and going through my diagnosis is I've learned that, people in the medical field, they aren't perfect and they try to give you all the resources and answers and answer all your questions. But at the end of the day, the patient is the best advocate.
Mhm.
You are your best advocate.
Yep.
Amen.
I
Yeah.
agree a
Hmm
1,000,000%.
Mhm.
hmm Not that they're
It's
doing anything wrong, but there's a lot of patients they're seeing throughout the day. But at the end of the day, you're your best advocate.
yeah,
Mhm.
you've gotta fight for you.
Hmm
And I believe you have to have someone next to you fighting with you because sometimes so my mom had a lot of health problems growing up, and
Mhm.
I was just trained going through it. You bring someone with you, and I always try
Mhm.
to offer to go with
Yeah.
someone because
hmm
you can't go by yourself and be getting all of this information and processing
Yeah.
it because it's you and your body, and it
Mhm.
is so unbelievably overwhelming.
Yeah, you
And I
hear
just
it
know this from my
differently.
mother's
Yeah.
experience. And then someone else is there to help answer the questions and, propose other questions and other outcomes and
Yeah.
do you
Right.
need and then a second opinion. To me, a second or third opinion is
100%.
mandatory
100%.
and should be.
Yeah, people who are going through it too, like you have these blinders on because
Mm.
at the same time you're like, what's going on? Like this is crazy, right? I have cancer. So my sister who lives in California, she's a RN. She was on all my Zoom meetings. She couldn't make my
Awesome.
appointments. So
That's
I did Zoom
wonderful.
meetings with my doctors. I created it with my parents and my sisters and I turned my phone on. And so the doctor was in the room and I let him know. And so if they had questions that I didn't know at the time, because I'm the type of person that I take everything else in, like all in. And then hours later, I'm like, dang it, why didn't
Why
I ask
didn't I
that
ask
Yes.
that?
question?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
You
Mhm.
know?
Yeah, and then you can't just call up the doctor and be like, "I got one
Yes.
more question for you."
Yeah.
Right. The doctors through UC Health, they were
That's
very responsive as far as like chatting in the chat box. If it wasn't
okay.
them, it was their PAs and stuff,
Right.
just with questions I had. So that was very helpful and useful.
That's wonderful.
Mhm.
Going back to when you were diagnosed and you said you were in Seattle,
hmm
was that really difficult getting that diagnosis and not being home with your family?
I was on a plane. I was in Denver. I just landed to get my connection to Seattle, and Malika called me, Dr. Thompson, and she's like, I heard it in her voice,
Mhm.
and I started bawling.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
started
man.
bawling by
Mhm.
myself.
Having to
Um,
get on a plane.
Yeah.
and I still had to get
That's
my connection. Like the days I took off, I picked up extra shifts so I wouldn't have to like extend my contract. So I had to go back and work 7 days straight. And so getting back on that plane, it was super hard. I called
Mhm.
my husband, I'm bawling.
oh, geez.
I'm at the airport and just like, yeah.
But you knew
So
you knew the results were coming in,
I knew
right?
the results,
So
but
he
there
kinda
was
knew, but you
so I've had
just
fibroadenomas, which are just benign,
Yep.
right? And so I have very dense breast tissue, and I've had those before. And there is a comment that it might be a benign, it might be a fibroadenoma. So I was
Mhm.
like, oh, it's just that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breast
Sure.
cancer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it was a shock.
I
Yeah.
had that same experience because I made the mistake of getting my CT while I was on my lunch break.
Oh no.
So I was working that day.
Yeah.
And then I popped in and I was like, so do I have kidney stones? Like, what's up? Not expecting that at all.
No.
And she
Not
was like,
expecting what?
that it was cancer. And
Okay.
she was like, actually, and then I had to work the
Oh.
rest of the day, like,
Yeah.
you know how it is, like, we
Yeah.
just shut it off.
Yep.
We
That's
do our
crazy.
thing,
Mhm.
and then at the end of my shift, I went back in there and I'm like, "So tell me again, like,
Ugh.
do you really think that this is actually cancer?"
Oh
And she
my
was like, "I
gosh.
do, I do." And it was the same kinda
Mhm.
thing.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
so your mind never
Wow.
my mind
Yeah.
never went there.
Even after they told you.
Even after they
Is
told
it
me and I
cancer or
worked.
just the cancer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like,
We just need
"Actual
you to
cancer?" And then I
Yeah.
remember saying,
Or are
like,
you joking cancer?
"How sure are you?"
Mhm.
And yeah,
Yeah.
so I can totally
Oh
relate to
my
that.
gosh.
Mhm.
You know what? You guys just reminded me of how sensitive and how, I guess, empathetic we need to be towards humans because we don't know that person getting on the plane just didn't get a
Uh-huh.
cancer diagnosis,
Yeah.
or the person that's working and finishing
Yeah.
out their day didn't just get a cancer diagnosis.
Or
Yeah.
their father or their best
Yeah.
friend
Yeah.
or their
Yeah.
All of
who
it.
knows?
Mhm.
Wow.
All of
And
it.
everyone will
mean,
experience
yeah.
Mhm.
at
So
some
when
And
people are
point.
like, "What's their problem?" Man, it could be a million trillion
Yeah.
things. So why don't you just lighten
Just be
up and
nice. Yeah.
don't
But
worry about what
I
their
feel
problem
like,
is?
like in radiology and the medical field in general, like you just put on a poker face.
You
Like
do.
you were
You
there. I mean,
compartmentalize.
like
Yeah,
you
you
were there
do.
caring for people
Yeah.
and they are in their worst vulnerable state when they come
Yeah.
to see
I don't know
you.
how you
You
guys
have
do
to
that.
shut that off. Like anything that ever bothered me, I left it at the door.
Yep.
No one would have known
Yeah.
anything was ever wrong with me. I just shut it off and I took care of whoever was in front of me. And then at the end of the day, I address whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you
Okay,
go
And
home and cry.
I know you're the
you
same way.
called Jeff. You had a call because you were away. I would have been like, boss, I have to take the rest of the day
No.
off. I
No.
need to go home and tell
No.
my
You have a
husband.
Because that's
schedule.
like
You have a
that's like
schedule of
first
patients.
denial too, which is getting shocking news, and it's same just like everyone handles their cancer journey differently.
Yeah.
Yep.
When you get shocking news, we all take it in differently and we all deal with it differently, just like we do with our healing journey. for
Right. I mean,
sure.
and like where I came from, like, let me just lift the rug and sweep that under the rug for a little bit.
Right.
And I'll
Yeah.
just lift the rug later and deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing,
Yeah.
same situation.
And you were saying earlier that there is a lot of cancer here in Steamboat.
It's a small community, so
Right.
it seems
So it
like a
seems
lot.
like it.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, even with glioblastomas, like I've known
Yes.
5 people, like it's very rare in the world.
What is that?
It's a brain
Brain.
tumor.
Okay, listen, you guys. I'm a
It's okay.
hairstylist, nurse, ultrasound. Okay, no, come on, hairstylist, trachnologist.
You have a
yes.
5-year survival rate for those. I'm just wondering if it's because it's a smaller community, but then again, we have higher radon here. You're at a higher
Yep.
elevation, so there's, more cosmic radiation probably, I don't know. Our environment, I think, is huge, our food.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. The
So
rates are climbing, and hopefully we're doing research on what's causing that.
I'm
but-
sorry, but I definitely think our food.
Oh, yeah.
There are things that
Well,
they
now there's
allow in our
microplastics.
pesticides
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
that they would never allow anywhere else in the world, and the fact that they let. Sorry, we're going down a whole different rabbit hole, but this is important, and I've been believing this for a long time. And all the preservatives that were in our food too, growing up.
Mhm.
I think we came from the era of preservatives. Oh, now we can make it last forever. I mean, the 80s was like the era of microwaves and the longer lasting foods and
Yep.
like let's
McDonald's.
box it up. And even McDonald's started out healthy and it's not anymore. It's not even like food anymore. But I truly believe our food in the US is actually working against us and we have to be very careful. Even when you eat
Absolutely.
vegetables and fruits, the pesticides that are used on that is
It's
still
the
not
sugar
okay.
too, like sugar.
Yeah.
Sugar
Yes.
is in
Cancers love
everything.
sugar
Yep.
too. Like
But it's in
sugar.
everything.
Yeah. Sugar
They
is in
put
So
sugar
everything.
in
did you
everything.
when you did you totally change up your diet, nutrition? Did that shift for you after the
So
diagnosis?
I had already had like a journey. I lost 20 pounds before my diagnosis, and I
Mhm.
was hiking in the Pacific Northwest. Like I was doing 12 to 15, 12-mile hikes, 8-mile hikes. Like I didn't wanna do any hikes under 8. I was in probably the best shape I'd been in a couple of, like, 10 years or so. And so I've continued that journey.
Mhm.
I think that's what helped me get through it, with little reactions to chemo. I mean, I had a couple bad days, but for the most part, I
Mm.
think being healthy going into it really helped my recovery as far as my double mastectomy, as
Mhm.
far as the chemotherapy. So it's interesting though, because when you go through it, you have a ton of resources at the oncology center. Like, I had 3 acupuncture appointments that were free, 3 massage therapy sessions that were free through the hospital, and there are resources, and the biggest thing is there's people who aren't fortunate enough, like, to have insurance like I did to cover it, but so there's grants and stuff that a lot of the cancer centers try to help with
Oh,
for
that's so
patients.
That's
great.
good to
Oh,
know.
good
It's
to
good to
know.
know.
Yeah, because I mean, America, people go bankrupt because of
Yeah.
medical bills,
Mhm.
and then they don't seek treatment, and it's too
Yep.
late because they're away. That's what's sad, right?
Mhm.
You're
Yeah.
worried about the financial piece,
Yep.
right? I can't afford
Yeah.
that, so I'm not gonna go get checked out.
Yep.
Mhm.
And so I think that's where medicine needs to kind of flip and, you know,
Yeah,
Take care. Yeah.
absolutely.
and take care of the people
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
and community.
Right.
So you
So
chose, so your diagnosis was stage what?
it was stage 1 and grade 3.
Okay.
So grade 3, I think it has to do more with the cells.
Okay.
That's more pathology than me,
Mhm.
but it means it's an aggressive cancer, more aggressive. So
Okay.
that's why I had to do chemotherapy. Between that and when they took my lymph nodes, I had one with micro metastasis,
Mhm.
so tiny cells that spread. So that's why they went pretty extreme on the chemo to try to kill everything, eradicate it. So
Well, like, how did your husband and kids handle the diagnosis?
so I didn't tell my kids for a while. I didn't want to disappoint them, and I didn't tell friends for a while either because I don't like attention,
Mhm.
and I am a giver and I'm not a
Mhm.
receiver, and so but what I found out with me holding it in, it was really crushing me. Like, the
I bet.
Yeah.
emotions and the hormones and just, like, not being able to talk about it, so I finally told my son, and I bawled on the phone, you know?
Mhm.
He was in San Diego, Lulu, my daughter, she's just an incredible spirit, like,
She is.
she's a caretaker, she's giving, like, she's just an incredible human that she just rose to the occasion and just, like, took care of me without me asking, and I was
Oh
like,
my
"This is not
gosh.
your responsibility, like, I don't want you to remember mom as being sick or you having to take care of your mom because she had cancer, like, I want you to be a child," but she loves to take care of people. She's genuine,
Wow.
just like this great soul.
She
I love
is.
it.
Like,
Oh.
when someone breaks her
She's
heart, oh my
sweet.
gosh, mama bear
Oh.
is gonna come out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, I mean, I became a nurse
Oh.
because I almost lost my mom when I was 8, and, like, we grew up in the hospital. My mom was a nurse too, but it was like, I just got used it's like homey to me,
Mhm.
and we just got used to it, and it was our normal.
Yeah.
So, I think when you're young too when you're young, I think you adjust really quickly. You adjust and
You
adapt
do.
really quickly to meld in with whatever your family needs
Mhm.
if
That's
you're a
true.
close-knit
And I think
family.
it gives you
Yeah.
a different perspective on life, like, don't take a moment for granted, you
100%.
Absolutely.
know?
Yep.
Gratefulness and
Mhm.
appreciation.
Yep.
So
And the
and
kids learn it because that's how
Mhm,
I learned it. I learned it
Mhm.
from my mom and watching her, and man, she appreciated every day
Mhm.
she was given after that here on earth.
yeah.
It was amazing.
What
How old
about
was
your
your daughter?
husband, though?
I was gonna ask that too.
Because
I wanna know.
sometimes it can go, like, it can go either way on how they
Yeah, how
respond
they
to something like
react.
that.
He
Because they
well
get scared.
Yes.
I didn't know he was scared. He was very composed and
Mhm.
very strong for me because he felt like he needed to, but I needed to see a little bit of emotion from him, I think, but he
Mhm.
was just trying to be strong.
Mm.
But it wasn't until a friend of his came to me and told me that he got very emotional with him after my diagnosis. Like, he went up there and had some drinks and dinner with him, and yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they try to be so tough,
they
Yeah,
do.
so
and that
stoic.
weighs on them even more too.
It
And so
does.
it's I like that you're reiterating how hard it was for you guys to hold that in instead of being able
Mhm.
to let it out and find someone to talk to and release it to.
Yeah.
'Cause it's
Mhm.
I mean, it's a coping mechanism for sure, and it's part of the whole so cancer's like grieving,
Yeah.
It's all the
absolutely. You're
stages.
grieving. Yep.
You
Yeah.
are. You have to go through all those stages. I'm still kind of going through the acceptance pieces. So I have days I'm like, what just happened to me? And like people are like, do you miss your breasts? And like there's some days I'm like, well, kind of, but not really. But you have to grieve the loss of your breast.
Yeah.
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 And you have all
No
these
one
new
talks about
symptoms
that.
and these oh,
That's the
yeah.
other thing is I don't think people when they go through this journey, like for me, I chose double mastectomy because I work in the field
Mhm.
and I wanted to be done with it. Be like,
Absolutely.
Mhm.
take them,
Yeah.
take my cancer, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to have to wait. I already had to
Mhm.
wait 6 weeks until I knew I needed chemo, right? But then you have to heal from your scars before you start chemo. And then you have to finish chemo before if you know radiation. So there's this whole waiting period. And I think the waiting period is the worst.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And patients aren't taught, they don't talk to them about the waiting period, right? And the process of it sometimes. They're just like, okay, I did your surgery, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm doing your chemo, I'm done.
Yeah.
So there almost
Wow.
needs to be like a cancer coordinator, like or like a
They're
care,
they do
like a
have
care.
They have
navigators,
that. Mhm.
nurse
Okay, well
navigators.
then, do they explain that waiting period? Did they explain this
They
stuff?
said they did say that you might need chemo, you might need radiation, but I didn't know that I needed to heal from my scars before I could even start chemo because I was sitting at home. I was like, okay, can I start my
Let's
chemo
go.
now?
Yeah.
Let's go, because I don't sit well either.
Mhm,
Right.
I am a
mhm.
doer. I need to be
Yeah, and
moving.
if
Right.
there's not progression going on, then it's a standstill. And standstills, I mean, I work the same way. I'm not okay
Right.
with waiting,
It's too
and
much going on
yeah,
here.
then
Yeah.
you get in your head.
Yeah.
It's a
Mhm.
total mind.
Yes, yes, I know what you're trying to
Yes,
say.
it's
Yeah.
a mind
fudge.
F. Yep.
It really
Yes.
is.
A
Yeah.
mind
Well, because what are you supposed yeah, what
mess.
is your
Mhm.
mind gonna do for that time?
Mhm.
They have a reason for you to wait. But I've seen people, and when you're, like, given the, like, "Here's the plan, you're gonna come in this week," so then you can be like it's just like at work. I like to go into work and know what the plan is for
Yeah.
the day, and I like to get at it. I wouldn't wanna wait 6 weeks to start a new job or,
Mhm.
something kind of new and stressful.
Well,
So the
between that and you know that you need to work because
Yeah.
you kind of
Yeah.
live paycheck to paycheck,
Yeah.
and so those bills are stacking up. So the best things my friends did for me is I felt terrible about it too. Like I was like, I don't know if I really want to do that. I don't want to be exposed, but I started to go fund page me. But those funds helped me get through my journey where I wouldn't have to worry
Mm.
about finances.
Well,
That's a really good
wonderful.
That is
point.
wonderful.
It
That's
was
good to hear.
wonderful, and people
Yeah.
wanted to do meal train. I was like, "Oh, you get meals and people put so much love into it, but will we eat it?" Not being rude or anything, but,
Mhm.
Yeah.
unless you're very specific of what you want.
Right.
So,
Mhm.
which was incredible, and some of the things that people gave me, a 45-degree wedge pillow. I didn't know I needed to sleep on my back for 12 weeks.
Mm.
Do you sleep on your
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
can, but it's
Yeah,
hard
it
not
makes
to roll over,
sense.
but yeah, you are
Yeah.
not rolling over when
No.
you have that surgery.
The other thing is you come home with drains,
Mhm.
for 2 weeks, I had to
Mhm.
keep them in, so I lived in a robe that had little pockets that my drains sit
Yep.
in,
Yep.
Mhm.
and so that's
I
what
think
I
that's a
give with new diagnosis. They're
Mhm.
like, "Well, what can I get for my friend?" I was like, "This list right here got me through it."
yeah.
That's
Mm.
Yeah,
great.
I
You're,
feel like
giving back what
yes.
you've been
Yeah.
through
Mhm.
to I mean, you're, in the ultimate mecca field of being able to, give back from your
Mhm.
journey, which
Yeah.
is incredible.
That
It's
is
pretty
incredible.
incredible. It's very fulfilling,
Mhm.
actually. It hits me right at home and in the heart because my phone number's been given out occasional to
Mhm.
several people, actually. Um,
Just
just for
did.
yeah.
Just did for my stepsister. Yeah, because nothing that I say or my parents can say
Yeah.
to her or anyone can say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. We'll pray for you. We're here."
Mhm.
But no one really knows except for the people who know.
Yeah.
Who've gone
Yeah.
through it.
And
And
on that note
yeah.
too, being young, being really young, your peers haven't gone through
Mhm.
this mind
They don't know
that
what to do.
yeah,
Mhm.
so they can't
Mhm.
relate. So mentally, I felt like I was on this
All
absolute
alone.
island.
Yeah.
My friends weren't dealing with
Yeah.
this. So it's to be able to call somebody
Yeah.
that and talk to somebody that's actually been through that and understands all the feelings and emotions that are surrounded by that
Yeah.
is key.
Yeah.
that's why I think it's amazing that you are where you are because it's in front of your face all the time.
The relation, just the rapport that you can gain with these patients. And when I was in Seattle, I had several breast cancer patients. And I told them that my story, and it was really hard because I would get a little teary, but for them to be able to connect with someone that what they're going through, you went through, and you understand, it was huge. And I've had several patients.
So healing for
So
that.
healing. It gives me goosebumps
It gives
right
them
now.
hope right
It gives
away.
them
They're
hope.
like,
there is
okay.
hope.
And you've met personally and eye to eye. And
Right. And they're always like, how can you be so positive? I was like, I am a very positive person. Everything in life, even cancer, I try to find the beauty in it, right? And cancer can be so evil and you can let it consume you. But for me, I saw it as a journey to rediscover myself.
Nice.
Yes.
What did you discover?
Yeah.
To when people offer to help you, take it because it makes them feel good, right?
And it's actually helpful to you.
It's helpful for
And that's okay.
It's okay. Also, the huge thing is self-care, right? And just like I don't do this stuff right here, right? And so coming outside of yourself and doing different things that you've never done, so you can it's more self-discovery, I guess. Like you don't see Molly out of town, like downtown, and the girls at the breast care center is like, you got to come. And I went out. And I don't go out. Like once I'm in Stagecoach, I'm just in Stagecoach. Like I'm a homebody, but it's getting outside of yourself and doing things you normally don't do because you never know if it's the last time you'll see anyone.
I agree. Yep.
Yeah.
That's how we should live every day.
It is. And it stinks sometimes that cancer makes you realize that every day, not that you lose sight of that, but maybe you do, but every day is you shouldn't take
Every
it for
day
granted.
is a gift.
It's a gift. Thank you. I couldn't spit my
is
words
a
out.
gift.
It's a gift.
Yeah.
And everybody you meet and cross paths, I think it's I don't know. I think you're supposed to meet people in certain time of your life.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll tell you a story. After my
Absolutely.
diagnosis, I lived in a house in a basement of two he was a nephrologist.
What's a nephrologist?
Kidney doctor.
Oh, I would say
Nephrology.
Nephrologist. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, you did. She said it funny.
nephrologist.
Anyway,
I said nerfologist. Like I was like Nerf gun.
A Nerf gun. Nerf doctor.
Nerf doctor. He started the dialysis program out in Seattle at UW. Like phenomenal guy. His wife, Adrienne, became my best friend. She's 80 now. Just had her first grandbaby. We still talk and communicate. However, before I came home that week, she had come. She would always come downstairs and sit on my couch, and we'd have conversations. And I would walk her dog because she couldn't walk anymore. Her knees were bad, so I'd take her dog on my hiking adventures. And so she came downstairs, and Bill was diagnosed with metastatic prostate cancer.
Oh.
No.
And so then I came home and then I got my diagnosis and I get back to my apartment and she's down. There's a little table and right next to the table, she was leaving me a flower and a little rock. And I was like, did you know I was just diagnosed? Like she didn't. She was just welcoming me with the flower and a rock. And I started bawling. I was like,
It's little things.
but well, I didn't have my husband, but then I had her and I had these flowers and it was just like, it was the love and compassion and empathy that she had. And we just, I don't know, she's like one of my best friends. I saw her on my last assignment. I had dinner with her and her daughter and their new grandbaby. And so, yeah.
And if you hadn't have been brave enough to like go do those travel assignments and get out of your comfort zone and all of those things, you wouldn't have met these wonderful people.
They were supposed to be there to support you.
Yes.
You had no idea, but they were supporting you.
And I supported her through his diagnosis. Like I was sleeping one night and they were above me and I heard something hit the floor. I was like, oh my God. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, I can't just lay in bed. Like something just happened. And Bill had fallen down. He had a Purple Heart too, like served time, like, yeah. And so he had fallen out of the pantry and pulled this thing down off the cabinet and he was on the ground root beer bottle smashed, so he was kind of bleeding, disorientated because of his meds, and so I helped get him on off the floor and back to his bed.
Mhm.
And ever since that night, and even after I left after my diagnosis, because Bill didn't pass away until January, I think. And I came home in December. He always talked about me.
I feel like our divine intervention comes to us in those people that we meet. So
Exactly.
if like our heart and our eyes are not open to just randomly having a conversation with people, we just have no idea how greatly it's going to either affect us or them.
Them, yeah.
Yeah.
But that is how we get it and we feel it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But community, you go back to community.
Community.
It's
It
huge
always
to
goes
your
back to
Yeah,
community.
and
your
just
healing journey.
Yeah.
humanity. I mean, and
Yeah.
So
empathy for just anybody and everybody.
Mhm.
Is there a community here in Steamboat for cancer, people who are going through cancer?
Like a
is
support
there a
group?
support group?
There is support groups, and
Okay.
and so if it's not for breast cancer, you can get one for, prostate cancer or whatever cancer you're going through. Katie Keller through the Oncology Center here, she gets a group together, and we meet on Wednesdays, I think, and she'll send an email out to anyone who wants to participate just to touch up on anything, any questions you have, any concerns, just to be in a room with people who are
Yeah.
going through with it. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And
I'm
you're
so
doing
glad.
that? Like, you
I haven't yet, but I'm going to.
great.
Mhm.
That
I
was
want
one
to.
of my questions. Like,
Mhm.
how do you take care of your mental health
Yeah.
in regards to all of this? Because you're right, there's like different stages. So your mental health is one way when you're first diagnosed, when you're in it, when you're in treatment, and then coming out of it too, like on the flip side of
Right.
it, brings up
Yeah.
all other kinds of stuff
Yeah.
too.
Well, I think when you go through it, I think it's more fight or flight mode.
Mhm.
You're just
Absolutely.
going through it, right? Each stage, trying to get through it. And then when it's all and you're getting so much attention too through it
Mhm.
that it's once you're done in remission, all those emotions, either if you suppressed them or just didn't really want to think about them, they start coming out.
Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, you gotta go through all the phases and the stages.
That's the hard.
What?
I
That's
think
the
that is
stage where I lost my mind.
Which one? The acceptance part?
On the
After
other
you've
side of
recovered.
On the
it.
other side, I think it's
Uh,
harder. I
Mhm.
really because there's been patients even saying that, "I wish I was just in chemotherapy again."
'Cause they knew what to expect, they knew the routine.
Yep. Now I have to deal with all this
Mhm.
and what I just went through. But
Right.
yeah.
Well, you're focused
you're
on
doing it
surviving.
alone.
Yeah.
There's a switch too, and now, well, you had said it before. How am I gonna be the new me? You are a new person,
I
and I'm
am.
sure that
Mhm.
when you do deal with chemo and the surgeries and the radiation, you have to feel like your whole body is changing,
Yeah.
and then now your hormones are different, so it's almost like your body's against you now, and then you fought that, and oh, wow, there's just so many
Mhm.
So
different
many.
Levels,
facets
yeah.
out there that you have
mhm.
to deal with. Well, I feel like the support groups, I feel like that's probably where they would come in
Yeah.
to be really, really handy, is
Yeah.
when you're going into, "How do I move forward and live the rest of my life now?
Well,
Exactly.
Leave
what?
this back here."
But throughout the journey, her attitude, her
Mhm.
her outlook has always been so positive, and you were just so uplifting to others, even in your journey. And I would be like, "Gosh, you're amazing!" Like I feel like your attitude and your positivity also contributed to your survival and your journey. Like, I really do think it can
Oh,
be a mindset. Like,
1,000,000%.
it could either be a death sentence or you could be like,
A
you know what?
1,000,000%.
I'm going to go out fighting and I'm going to go out positive and trying to like be the utmost, butterfly of a human being that I possibly can and show my amazing colors. And that's what you did. And I was just always in awe of you. So I was like, you have to be on our podcast. You have to share this. You have to share this light and this beauty in like the darkest place of anybody's entire life. There still can be light. There still can be beauty. There still can be hope, even if you're like in the midst of it.
Well, also trying to see his cancer as something beautiful out of cancer, right? And that was me rediscovering myself. Like, what am I not doing right in my life or for myself that I need to change? And so, I don't know. I try to see the beauty in everything and everyone. And
You
to
do.
me, this was just another challenge that was thrown at me. to test my faith, my my
Mhm.
person.
Yep.
Mhm.
So
And I think your daughter, because I know your daughter well. I get to spend some time with them in the salon. Her daughter sees. Her daughter's just like her and so sweet and smart, but so caring as such a young lady. So caring. And I know she's gonna mimic that from
Mm.
watching you go through this.
mhm.
And that's going to instill in her the way that she's gonna handle things that
Yeah.
come to her life, which let's face it, they will. And that's why I think it's so cool. You didn't crumble. I mean, I'm sure you've had your crumbling moments, but in all, you didn't crumble, and that's really, really cool.
So there is this podcast, I think it's a podcast. He also wrote a book, but my sister gave it to me. It's called Becoming Supernatural.
Mm.
It's pretty deep. He talks about the mind, the body, how we're all just like a ball of energy, and we have this positive and negative pull, right? And if you can be more positive, then these ailments or inflammation can be depleted and your mind can move forward without having to be stressed or like feel ill. One of the examples was like this woman had a lot of trauma in her life, and when she came to him, she'd seen every doctor. Nothing was wrong with her, but she had all these ailments. And
Mm.
what he found out is that she was so negative and had so much traumas. Once he was able to flip her brain to be more positive feeling, like she could start walking again. Like she was having some paralysis issues, and all of that started to disappear once she could flip her brain and
Mhm.
connect her mind with her heart. But breath work, that's something I've started doing since my
Okay.
treatment because um, day 3 and 4 was always my terrible days. And Erin Chris, I got with her and I was
Mhm.
like, "Do you want to go to this breath work class?" I was like, "It is like day 3 for me. I'm going to still go, but I could feel pretty crappy."
Mm-hmm.
And after we did this breath work, like my mind just everything that I thought about, stressed about just went away. And the craziest thing is I was vibrating, which the energy was crazy. And then when I left there, I had no symptoms from chemo.
Oh,
Like
wow.
Oh.
Wait,
it was
where is
It
this
is your
breathwork class, and when are we signing up for it? Yeah, is it here in
Thanks.
town?
Are we promoting this now?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, let's do it.
But I'd rather just do so I just did a recent class and it was also with some energy stuff. And I don't know if I'd go there again, but I like the breath work.
Uh-huh.
It's really
Mhm.
learning how to breathe in and breathe out and like
Now I'm all conscious. I'm conscious about my breathing. Are you?
and I think people as women, I think we hold a lot of things in and hold our
Mhm.
breath in, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
we
then
do.
yes,
I do.
yeah.
Yep.
Let's get all this out.
Yeah.
Things
Wow.
like that aren't super like natural or normal
Yeah.
for you to do.
Yeah.
Other than the breathing thing, was there anything else that you've taken on that you've kept with, that you've stayed with, that you were never doing before?
Facials, massages, taking
Okay.
care of myself. I never did
Good.
that before,
Yeah.
right? And now Eli's like, "What do you want for your birthday?" Facial, massage,
Yeah.
spa
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
You know, as a mother and working and a wife, like, but
Yeah,
self-care is
lavish.
so huge.
But don't you
And
think too,
so
like in the medical field, like when you're that just like caregiver energy, like everyone comes before you.
they do.
Yes.
Seems
They
like.
do. And
I think just as women,
I've always made
period.
everyone else come before myself. And you can get
Yes.
lost in that, right?
Yes.
And so that was me rediscovering myself that I need to take the time to take care of myself and do things
Mhm.
that I love, like hiking.
Mhm.
I could
Good. You have a new hiking partner
Yeah.
there,
Go
Laura.
for it, girls.
Miles and miles
She
and miles.
loves
I love
doing
it.
that.
We'll cheer you on
Yes.
from the
Yes.
sidelines.
It's
Yeah,
like
I like to
Because
do
sometimes I like to
this.
hike. For me, it's meditative.
I like to
Mhm.
hike by myself too. I'll
Yeah.
hug some trees. I'm not gonna lie, but
Yeah.
yeah,
To
it's
me,
very
it's very
meditating
healing.
and healing.
Yeah. You guys should try it by yourself. I don't go.
You know what I like to do? I like to go shopping by myself.
Online.
You know,
And no, I actually like to go
everyone
to the
has their
stores
thing.
and just
Yeah,
like
everyone has their thing. I like
I don't
hiking up.
understand. I
The
don't
more
understand
hike
the up.
up, I just feel I don't know,
Yeah,
for
the more
feel.
empowered you feel.
Yeah.
Yes,
You're
I like the
"Oh,
cardio.
yeah, I'm
I
getting
like to
up
really
there."
be sweating.
Yep. I like the
Yeah.
Doesn't take
burn.
much.
That's the exact same way I feel about CrossFit. That's
Mhm.
how the feelings I get too from
Mhm.
CrossFit.
Yeah.
but it's within a community, and
Mhm.
I feed off that community.
Yeah, you
So,
really do
same
like
thing,
CrossFit. I
just
remember
a
when you
different.
started CrossFit.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, and I think you're crazy for CrossFit.
I think I'm crazy
Yeah.
for I never would have thought I would have done something like that, but it was a gift to myself,
Yeah,
and it
that's
has been a
awesome.
gift, yeah.
What's interesting too is when you go through the cancer center, they have all these resources, and one's a nutritionist, and she can help and give you like a list of things or um to start eating to try to be healthier. But it's crazy, and you have this resource not until your diagnosis. Like this is
Uh-huh.
something we should be doing probably before
Mhm.
our diagnosis, just in life with our family and our kids.
Yeah.
Mhm. I
Just
agree.
nutrition is huge.
Did
Right.
that change for
Mhm.
your family then?
It's hard, you know.
Yeah.
I definitely try for sure. I do cook. I just made homemade gnocchi.
Ooh, that's
Impressive.
amazing.
I That's another thing. Through my journey, I shared my love in bread. It's called bread love. Someone gave me a sourdough starter, my
Oh,
friend
Oh,
yeah,
did.
yeah. That's the
And
way to
I every
go.
time I went to the
I've never
cancer
done that.
center,
I
I
wanna
would
do
bring
that. I
bread,
want to.
sourdough bread.
I'll
Like
do
you
it.
do
Oh,
some,
that's
I
so
bring you
sweet.
bread. Yeah,
Oh.
because it comes from the heart. I'll bring
Yeah.
you some
Yeah.
Thank
bread.
you.
Well,
bread.
I
I
love
gotta
sourdough.
say, she does amazing cheesecakes too,
Oh
Yeah.
my
and I really
gosh.
miss her cheesecakes.
Being in the
Do you
kitchen
still
is
do that?
almost therapy for me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love to bake, and once again, that's me being a giver. Is I love to
Mhm.
feed people because
Mhm.
it fills their heart, and if it can make them, oh, that reminds me of my grandma. Or
I do
Right.
too.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
That's super cute.
So
Yeah.
you're still doing that?
I'm still doing that. My coworker's birthday was February 6th, and I made her a carrot cake cheesecake.
As we wrap up, what I know people probably patients, I'm sure, have asked you this all the time, but, like, what was the biggest thing that came out of this diagnosis and going through treatment, this entire journey for you? What has been your biggest takeaway?
Biggest takeaway, gosh, that's hard because I feel like I've taken a lot away, but it's because I work in patient care, I can really relate to them now and make a connection. And if I can help them on their journey to make it easier and less stressful, and help guide them through it with questions or giving them answers, that between that and then just realizing how important community is and receive like when people want to help take it. Also, I'll just self-discovery. Like I've kind of been reinvented myself, I guess.
Mhm.
So,
If you
What
wanna
Yeah.
about
hit it,
you?
because I
Can
got
I
the
okay.
ask?
story, and
I really
you
want to
did
ask
good.
her the same thing since we've been talking about a little bit about your cancer
Mm.
journey.
Mine is different.
Okay.
So, I have, like, weird guilt because I didn't do it good enough. And when I say that, I mean, like, I had surgery, but I didn't have to do chemo and radiation, which should be, in my mind, a huge blessing that I didn't have to partake in that part of the journey. The
Mm,
whole thing really messed with my head.
yeah.
You guys know personally, like, I went down a very dark path
Yeah.
because of my cancer diagnosis. I wasn't
Spiral.
positive. Everything that positive now that's come from it had to happen after my fall and
Mm,
my recovery journey and the healing that
mhm.
I've done. That's where the positive side has come from.
See, I didn't know this, and that's what kind of brings it back to full circle is you never know what someone's going through.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so I think
Right.
it's always, and I think that's why I check in more with my parents or my
Mhm.
friends and my
Mhm.
sisters because you don't know what people are going through.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love that you
So
said your recovery journey because it brings back to the fact that recovery, people say the word recovery and you automatically think addiction
Mm.
or drugs or alcohol. And gosh, it's so much more than that. It can be
Yeah.
recovery from
Everyone's
medical,
recovering
it can
Mhm.
be
from something.
recovery from mental, recovery from anger, from codependency, from sexual abuse, from any kind of abuse. I mean,
It's all
so much
healing.
recovery,
yeah.
right, is happening within people. So what were
But
you
I
gonna
will
say?
say, like, when you were praising her about how positive she was with her cancer journey,
Yeah.
I was immediately feeling shame for
Mm,
the dark path that I took because of my diagnosis. I was going to the place of, like, shame,
yeah.
Mhm.
you know?
I
Mhm.
think you also go to, like, an imposter syndrome
Mhm.
because you know how, like, if you get a breast cancer, then it's like you have this and a diagnosis, but then, like, where was this special group for kidney cancer?
Yeah.
So it's like there's
Yeah.
not a
Yeah.
it is interesting when
Mhm.
you are in a smaller niche, because then you're like, well, where are my people and where's my support
Mm,
group?
that's true.
There's a
Yeah,
huge,
there
and for
wasn't.
breast cancer,
There wasn't
it's been
any?
around.
No,
It's,
there was nothing. And like I
so that's
said, I
what's
was,
that's a huge
42,
difference.
so it's
Yeah.
not like my
Yeah.
And I
friends.
can totally empathize with the fact that you were like, I could see myself going through a mentality where like, I beat death. And I've never really lived before, and now I'm gonna live and I'm gonna send it. Like I'm
Well,
gonna
that's
just
what
go,
I
like,
did.
send it.
That's what I
That's
did.
what you did.
Yeah, you know?
But look where that got me.
Right, but that's understandable.
Yes, it is.
So it's definitely
But, you know,
understandable,
do you-
especially for someone who did try to do all the right things and look the
Yes.
right way and
Yeah.
be the good daughter and the good wife and the good mother.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get cancer, and then you're like, okay, I've never really lived, and what am I doing? And I want to know what it's like
Yes,
to
and
do
who
this or
am I
that.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
A rediscovery in a different
Yeah.
way. is what that
exactly.
is.
Like
Yeah.
I did it the dark way.
It was rebellious.
She did it the
You were
positive
rebellious.
I
way.
don't
That's
think
all.
there's any
don't
right
think
way,
there's a-
right? It
Right,
depends
so
on
when
the
she was
person
saying
and how they
that-
process.
It's
and
like
how they
grief. There
cope.
is no right or wrong way. I think
No,
there's just a
exactly.
way.
There is
as
just
long
a
as
way.
you find
And you
that
didn't
way.
stay there.
No.
And then what happened? So
Well,
you had to recover just a longer, different route.
Yes.
Okay, but
Yes.
through a few different
I'm not
things.
proud of my route.
But
Yeah.
but look at what it's also
I
taken
know.
you.
It's your
Absolutely.
story now.
It's
Yeah,
your
it's my
story
story.
now.
And then that
And I
story
think it's a
resonates just
beautiful
like hers.
story.
It is a
resonates
beautiful
somewhere.
story. Yeah.
Beautiful
No, that's
story.
It
true.
touches
That
so
is
many
true.
other people in different
Mhm.
ways.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that's where
Yeah,
we do
she's
have
helping people, with their patients. We're helping people like this.
In recovery.
And it's
yeah.
just beautiful.
Do you
Regardless,
think it
we're
would have
helping.
been different? Because I did admire you when you were diagnosed, like you were nonchalant, like there's nothing going on. And then
Oh,
looking
that
at
was just a game.
do you think you suppressed too many of your emotions that at the end, that's why you went around?
Yes, yes,
Get
because
gritty.
that's
Yeah.
all I
Yeah,
knew.
good questions.
So
That's
Yeah.
all I knew.
That's how
So
she
I
was
didn't
raised and
really, I
trained.
didn't, yes, I
People
didn't do
pleaser.
feelings.
She's
So
recovering
in
for
hi-
people pleasing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in hindsight of cancer again, it can be a beautiful thing because it helps you rediscover who you need to be or should be or something you're missing from your life or from
Mhm.
yourself.
Absolutely. Very good point, because I am a completely different person than who I was.
Mm-hmm.
And the catalyst was cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I love this so much. Thank you so
Congratulations
much.
on your journey.
Congratulations
And where you are
to
now.
you.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming on and sharing your journey. It is a beautiful journey. It is.
It is.
You have to choose to see the beauty out of
Mhm.
everything.
Yeah.
So,
I love
which
that.
is hard.
Yeah,
So-
but you're doing it.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
You are.
So-
Things are coming on here. I know this wasn't your first choice
Yes.
to do. and
Wasn't
you're
it
so
easy though?
shy.
It wasn't that
You
bad.
guys make it really easy.
Yeah.
That's
I
good.
mean,
Come
come
Nice
on.
conversation. Just
Yes.
beautiful people.
Yes. Thank you.
Highlights for today: eat healthy, exercise.
Mhm.
If something happens, you're ready for it and you can fight it because your body
Better.
is strong.
Yeah.
Be kind.
Yes.
Give yourself grace.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about
And
it. Talk to people.
Talk to people. Don't
Yes.
isolate. Go
Don't
into your
isolate.
community. Find your support group and be kind. Go be kind.
Thank
to
you,
everyone.
guys.